as the suspension moves this arm here, changes the voltage. Okay, just like we saw here. This is the arm that's connected to the, or let's say this is the arm, but as this moves, it changes the position of this, which changes the signal voltage. Okay, you got that? See how that works?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. So, basically, that's what you're looking at inside of here, okay? As this arm moves, it moves that contact, changes the voltage signal, so it knows what's going on, how is it set, what the height. Okay, this just showing you digital signal at the bottom, counterclockwise rotation on the steering wheel, clockwise rotation on the steering wheel, so it knows, are you turning it to the right, are you turning it to the left? And again, how fast you're turning it as well. This is just the electronics brake and traction control module, steering wheel position sensor. As you can see, a lot of the similarities here. Here's your 5-volt reference again, right? You still have your battery power coming in here, but your reference voltage is going to be 5 volts. That's a constant 5, no matter what the system voltage is. Steering wheel position sensor on the steering column, okay? There's a little notch here. It catches a little keyway in the steering column. As you turn the steering wheel, this piece inside here rotates, okay? And there's your connection for your wires. Sometimes they call that a hand wheel. Anybody ever heard of a steering wheel called a hand wheel? Have you?
It's very old school.
Yeah. Sometimes you'll see that, but for the most part, steering wheel, okay? Here's your schematic for that sensor again. Pretty much the same as what we saw a minute ago. One for the left, one for the right, depending on which way you're turning it. So sensor signal A and sensor signal B would be two different ones depending on the rotation of the steering wheel. This is just showing you picking up the speed from the vehicle speed sensor. This is a tone ring, kind of like you see on an axle for a wheel speed sensor. Picks up the signal, sends it to the controller so it knows how fast the vehicle is going as well. Transmitted by Class 2 serial data. Okay, if it has air suspension, it's probably going to have an air pressure sensor. It monitors the pressure inside the system to know if it should turn the compressor on or off so it can maintain the proper pressure in the system, to make adjustments to the suspension so the air is already available whenever it needs it. Again, you see your 5-volt chip. Almost all these sensors use a 5-volt reference, okay? Very common in cars. It's not like that on every single sensor, but for the most part, a lot of them use that 5-volt reference signal. Okay. Another one showing you the input from the lateral acceleration sensor. Again, works the same way. Computers all talk and communicate off of voltage. That's all it is, right? That's how they talk. They talk in voltage signals. So whenever you have a check engine light come on in your car, or let's say you have a warning light comes on for pretty much anything that has to do with the computer system. The reason it's on is because it's not seeing the voltage or the resistance in a circuit that it thinks it should see. Okay, that's all it is. Okay? Lateral acceleration sensors needed to control electronic suspension. Steering wheel position sensor is just not enough to determine the needs of the vehicle during cornering. So it will have a lateral acceleration sensor. Sometimes those are located underneath the seat, underneath the console, something like that. Sometimes they will tell you that a simple test to test one of these would be to plug a scan tool into the vehicle, unbolt this from the floor, and turn it sideways. And you should be able to look at the scan tool, and it should read 1G. Okay? Everybody know what G-force is, right? Okay, should read 1G. This says KOEO, what is that?
Key on, engine off.
Okay, in order to test anything, you have to have the ignition on in the car, right, so the system powers up. They don't want the engine running, so it's just key on, engine off, okay? All right, another schematic showing you the yaw rate sensor, typical schematic and location. Again, not much different than what we've seen before. Got like a variable resistor in there. Your reference voltage, still 5 volts. Sensing circuit. Inside that, brake traction control module. All right. Sometimes people get confused between the lateral acceleration sensor and the yaw rate sensor. So which one does what? Which one does this do? What's the purpose of the yaw rate sensor? We talked about that before lunch.
It deviates the weight distribution from when you go into a turn.
Kinda. It measures how far the vehicle has deviated from the driver's intended position. Like how far is the car sliding or doing whatever, right?
Yeah.
Is that what they do, when there's like an accident and you're trying to understand who's at fault or what happened, like if it goes to court or whatever? Is that what they do? They use that sensor? Is that like the, car's quote unquote black box type of thing?
Okay, kind of. So, if you get in an accident and your airbag deploys, the diagnostic module will store the information that was going on when that crash occurred. Now, you don't have access to that as a technician, okay? It's for insurance purposes only, or police, something like that, for report. So they can tell what was going on when you got in that accident. So if you said, well, I wasn't speeding, well, that thing's gonna tell on you. Oh, yeah, you were. Or did you have your foot on the brake, or whatever? Were you trying to avoid it, or were you just not paying attention? Okay, it's gonna know all that, but you don't have access to that. You can't put a scan tool in there and find that out, okay? That's strictly insurance deal. Okay. Electronic suspension system actuators. What's the difference between a sensor and an actuator?
A sensor senses and an actuator actuates?
Yeah, exactly. Sensor is an input, tells the controller what kind of information it's gathering, and then it processes it, and then it tells the actuators what to do about it. The actuators are solenoids, things like that. Okay? Everybody knows what a solenoid is, right? Or do you? Everybody know what a solenoid is? Basically an electromagnetic switch, kind of, sort of. Like this, we've used this as an example before. This is an oil control solenoid for variable valve timing. Okay? We've activated that before and you can hear it click, right? So all it's doing is moving an iron core inside there, and it's opening and closing a passage. Okay? That's all it's doing, to either block or allow flow of oil or whatever it happens to be opening and closing. Okay? Usually used as inductive devices operating on electromagnetic field. Solenoid. The core of electromagnetic acts as a plunger to open and close a passage or remove a linkage. When the solenoid is energized, current passes through the coil, magnetizes the core. When it's energized, spring pressure returns the plunger to its default position, which is where that solenoid is right now until we apply power to it, right? Then the electromagnetic field is activated and it pulls it one way, okay? When you take the power away from it, the spring pushes it back the other way into its normal position, okay? Normal meaning default position, same when there's nothing acting on it, all right? Just the spring pressure. All right. Airflow control valve is an example of a solenoid in electronically controlled suspension. That solenoid plunger extends and retracts, just opens and closes an air passage to let air into the system and the tank and the air springs. Actuator motor uses a principle to convert electrical energy into mechanical movement. The actuator motor, permanent magnet motor, 4 stator coils to drive the spring control rod, which you'll probably see, that's just an example of how a solenoid works, just off a magnetic field. Probably seen all that before. So what happens is, let's say this is the inside of the solenoid, right? Spring pressure is pushing it one way, that's its default position. When you apply power to it, power and ground, right? Creates an electromagnetic field, pushes it against the spring, opens and closes a passage for oil or whatever, or it can move a lever if it's hooked to a lever, or it can move an arm, okay? Just kind of a little side view of the air supply solenoid. Blocks pressure from the air valves when it's off. Plunger pulls upward to allow airflow to the springs when it's energized. So when it's energized, it'll allow flow of air. When it's not, it blocks it. Nothing exciting there, that's just the 4 stator coils and the air spring controller. Not really anything you gotta worry about too there. All right. These are different types of electronic suspension. Not really anything you have to really memorize, but it's just, again, different manufacturers call their suspension controller, whatever, electronic suspension, they call it different things. Some of the examples of what they used on GM cars through the years started out here, went to this. So over the years, as they developed more and more technology and ways to do things different, they just changed the name of the suspension system. Who knows what the F55 is after the magnetorheological suspension?
What?
Who knows what the F55 is?
Is that a DTZ?
Is it a who?
DTC?
Negative.
Okay.
I'm sorry?
What the F stands for?
No, what is F55? Why is that there?
Is that, what's it called?
What is this?
Is that the fluid? The type of fluid it takes?
Nope.
It's a hard.
Remember when we talked about that? Have we talked about that?
No.
No? You know what an RPO code is?
No.
It's a regular production option. Every single option on a car carries a 3-digit code, letter and number. That just tells you what suspension system that has. It's got F55 suspension. You want to know what else you probably don't know? You heard of Z28, right?
Yeah.
Camaro?
Yeah.
Z28 is just an RPO code.
Oh, really?
So is LT1. So is ZL1. That's all those are. They just use them as a name badge for a particular vehicle.
So it's the
That's all they are.
That's the suspension? The name of the suspension?
No, that's the RPO code for that particular vehicle.
Oh,
Okay? Like if a Camaro's a regular Camaro, let's say it's just a 6-cylinder RS or whatever, they typically don't put any badging on that. But let's say you got ZL1.
okay.
Okay? ZL1's the RPO code for that engine.
Okay.
Okay?
So, for like the Beamer, it's a E39. Would that be the RPO code or is that the chassis code?
That is probably just the, that's actually just the submodel. Now, I don't know about the other manufacturers, but a lot of times GM will do that. Like you've seen pickup trucks with Z71 on it, right?
Yeah.
Z71 is the RPO code for the suspension that's on that truck. That's
Okay.
all it is, but sometimes they use it as a name badge
Okay.
because
good.
people get familiar with it, right?
'Cause I was told that was a chassis
Okay.
code. I
No,
just wanted to
so
make
that's
sure.
all that is.
Okay.
Okay, it's just an RPO code. It stands for regular production option. All right, selectable ride. Most basic of the systems offered by GM. All that did was allow the driver to select firm or normal suspension. That's all it did. It was just one selector switch, basic, entry level, almost whatever type of electronic suspension. Automatic level control is the one that responds to the changes in vehicle loading or unloading just to keep the vehicle level. Air suspension is designed to maintain rear trim height under all load conditions. Trim height meaning how far does the car lean or drag its tail or drop in, whatever, right? Trim height. Variable rate springs. They are used with ordinary shock absorbers. ECM uses the air springs to control the trim height. Ford, Lincoln, Mercury like to use that stuff. Another type, commuter command ride. That one just controls the ride firmness automatically by controlling an actuator in each of the 4 struts to increase firmness as speed increases. And then there's the real-time road dampening suspension. That's a little different one. As you can see, it says it's capable of making changes within milliseconds. So this is on the fly. You can actually make adjustments to the suspension as you're driving. Bi-state and tri-state dampers. Those just provide different hydraulic dampening fluid. That's all it is. When it changes the valving in the suspension or the stiffness of the suspension, all it's doing is it's quickly changing the valve setting inside the shock. So the fluid can either flow easily or more difficult, okay? That's all it's doing. It's just immediately changing the valving in the shocks. And it's doing it in a millisecond, okay? Rotates a selector valve to change the flow of the hydraulic dampening fluid. That's all it's doing. It's very cool and it works good, but it's not that complicated, okay? ALC, district automatic level control, maintains the same height after loading or unloading the truck if you were carrying a load. Height sensors will say, okay, it's sagging now, I put 1,000 pounds in the bed of the truck or whatever it was. Height sensors will tell the controller the height of the rear of the truck is down this far, and it will activate the compressor and it'll bring it back up to normal. Nothing to it, right? Just showing you a quick little schematic of the relay that goes to the compressor. And the signal from the height sensor. Yeah. Got a
So,
question?
yeah, so when you add in like aftermarket air suspension on your own, would you have to, like get new relays or get a new like situation with the fuse box?
If the car never had an electronic suspension system, is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, whatever kit you bought will come with everything you need.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you wouldn't have to tie anything into the existing wiring or anything in the vehicle.
Okay, gotcha.
It operates automatic, independent of everything
Yeah,
else.
because I know a lot of them, they have like a personal switch you can just integrate into your dash. You can just keep it in your glove box or whatever. You can change it whenever. Or there's some that like you just completely connect to the car. So some of them, like when you turn it on, it'll go just like what you set it as
Oh, right,
beforehand.
right.
When you turn it off, it goes down where you
Right.
set it as.
Yeah, so
It
what
does
that would
different
work
ways.
off is a key on or key off kind
Yeah.
of position. So turn the key on, it activates the system, okay, we're getting ready to drive, and it
Goes up to
raises
right
the
height.
car to right height or whatever.
Yeah.
And then you shut it off and it drops it down, you
Yeah.
know, frame hits the ground, whatever. Okay, variable ring, 3 height sensors, 2 in the front, 1 in the rear. Monitors trim height.
Oh, I found the RPO code.
There you go.
It's right there on 1460.
Is it?
Yeah.
1460.
It's in the tech tip.
1460, where are we? Check the RPO code, yeah, there you go. Yeah, there's actually a sticker on the car somewhere. They're not all in the same place, of course, like nothing with cars is, right? Could be on a glove box, could be on a sticker on the spare tire cover or something like that, but there's gonna be a sticker in the car that has a whole bunch of RPO codes on it. 30, 40 of them. Every one of those is for a different option that car was built with. All right. This is just telling you the compressor's mounted on little rubber bushings to isolate it from noise so it doesn't make noise and it doesn't transfer through the vehicle. So hopefully you don't hear the compressor running and it's not too annoying. Cylinder at the top of each one of the springs regulates flow of air in and out of the spring. Let's see, nothing important there, just again another schematic showing the computer, command ride system. All right, another diagram. This is just basically inputs and outputs again. Here's your control module for the engine, body, electronic brake control, engine control module. Obviously computers have computers. Cars have lots of computers on them. Some could have 10 or 15. This schematic showing your RSS system again, nothing really different to see here, just different schematics for different things. Your bi-state dampers or your shocks use a solenoid to control fluid flow, which we talked about before. Controls compression and rebound actions. Another one there, showing you the states of shock. Integral shock solenoid on that one. Inflator or compressor relay. This one will energize the relay to activate the compressor. Compressor is a positive displacer air pump that can generate up to 150 psi. As with anything that stores air, it's going to have a dryer in it. Okay? You don't want moisture in the compressor, so it's going to have a dryer in there. Okay? An exhaust solenoid located on the compressor relieves excess pressure in the system. Self-leveling shocks. Nothing to see too exciting there. Self-leveling shocks on the back of the Chrysler minivan. That's just schematic, automatic level control. Compressor solenoid. Quick schematic. Purpose of the air dryer, obviously keep moisture out of the system. Okay. Last part, steps and troubleshooting procedures for normal operation. If the car has air suspension and a compressor, check the power and the ground if the compressor does not work. Anytime something doesn't work, it's electrical, it's got to have power and ground. That's the two things you're going to check first, right? Okay. Ride height compressor runs excessively. You're going to see this on a test question at some point in time, I promise you. The ride height compressor runs excessively. What does that mean?
Too much or a lot.
It does, okay. Let's say that it runs too long or too often, or maybe it just doesn't shut off. What's wrong with it?
It's stuck closed or
I had air leak.
what?
It's got an air leak.
Oh.
Meaning it can't pump up to the pressure it would normally shut off because there's an air leak. It just keeps bleeding it off, right? From air leak somewhere. If the compressor runs excessively or does not shut off, it's got an air leak somewhere, okay? Most systems will provide some adjustment for rear ride height, linkage between the height sensor and the body. Okay, some of those will have a little bit of an adjustment on them. Okay. The MR, magnetorheological suspension. This is the one that has the special fluid inside the shock. This is the way it works. The fluid in the shock uses a working fluid that can change viscosity rapidly depending on electrical current sent to an electromagnetic coil in each device. Probably doesn't make sense yet, right? Under normal conditions, the fluid flows easily through the orifices in the shock. And it provides very little dampening, which means it's a kind of a soft ride, right? Yeah?
Yeah.
When a large, high-frequency bump is detected, meaning you hit a bump in the road, right? Small electrical current is sent from the controller to an electromagnetic coil in each shock. The iron particles inside there will respond within 3 milliseconds, aligning themselves like fiber in strands. Now what does that do? that causes the dampening of the shock absorber to be a lot firmer or stiffer. This is on the back of a C6 Corvette, your suspension sensor. It's going to have those MR shock absorbers on it.
If you were to,
What's a C6 Corvette? Anybody know?
it's a fast car.
V8.
What does C6 mean? If you had a brand new Corvette, you just went down and bought it, 2024 Corvette, what would it be?
Branded.
Yeah, that. It would be a C8.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Is that
Right?
the generation of it?
That's all it is.
The generation
The
of the car?
8th generation Corvette.
Okay, I just want to make sure I was right.
C6 is just the 6th generation
Yeah,
Corvette.
yeah,
Right?
What does the C stand for? Corvette?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Corvette 6.
So, what was the first year a Corvette came out? What was the first year of it? You gotta figure it's probably been out for about 80 years.
Yeah, they've been out
There's
for a
C8.
while.
53.
53?
Been out for a long time, hasn't it?
Hell yeah.
Okay, they've been around for a long time. Just showing you the sensor again. This is a cutaway of the MR shock. Displayed in the Corvette Museum, Bowling Green, Kentucky. All the Corvettes were built in Bowling Green, Kentucky, and that's where the Corvette Museum is. Anybody been there? Probably not,
I
right?
want to go. Have you been there?
No, I haven't. No.
We
I
should
have
take a
not.
field trip.
Field trip to Bowling Green, huh? Okay. If anybody was paying attention in the last 5 minutes, you'll know the answer to this question.
Special fluid?
It does have special fluid, but how does it work?
Electrical current sent to the electromagnetic coil in each device.
Okay. It's got iron particles inside the fluid, right? That
Yeah.
electrical current causes them to change state, changes the viscosity of the fluid, like
Okay.
that. Like it could go from water to syrup, like that, right?
Is that why they call
Syrup
it
doesn't
magneto?
flow as quick as water, right?
Yeah.
So it just changes the viscosity of the fluid instantly with the voltage that it sends to it. Okay? Okay. All right. There's your first electronic suspension lesson. Okay, so separate these from what we've done earlier in the week, because this is what you're gonna start on for your study for next week's test. okay?
Thank you.
We're gonna start at 119, so keep these separate from 113, 118. Be easier to find them. You got it? Okay. Did I not get somebody one? Might have two extras.
He's gone.
Yeah, I know, I have two
Okay.
extras, so. Everybody got one, right?
Yeah.
I remember for the next one. Oh, I know now. Does everybody say 119?
Yes.
No.
I was gonna say, 'cause I got a 120 in my hand. Something happened here. You got a 120?
Yeah.
I think I have the 120.
Oh, you do, okay,
And I
so,
have the 120.
okay, so I messed up here somewhere. So yours says 120?
Uh-huh.
Yours does too?
No, I said, can I have it though?
Oh,
Later.
yours does too?
Yeah, that was just it.
Oh, that's his. Okay. Let me see what went wrong here. 119, what happened? Somehow I got these mixed up, didn't I? Oh, there we go. Somehow I mixed these up.
I gave Charles mine.
Oh, you did? That was awful nice of you. So everybody's got 119 now?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, somehow I got those confused. Twenty. There we go. Here's the other one.
So like your apartment, like the apartment is like a store. No, you don't live there. Like you got like so you got two apartments. One apartment is like full of designer clothes or whatever, like for your friend, whatever. They can come shop here, and then they leave. They keep the money, whatever. Would you ever do that? Or apartment keeper? Figure, right? Why you say that? What you thinking of? That girl? Huh? Who sell her out?
Everybody done?
Mm,
Is that a yes or no?
no,
No?
I'm close.
Okay.
Alright, I'm ready.
We all ready?
Yeah.
We all ready?
I did not use the book. So the first one is probably wrong. A lateral acceleration sensor is used to provide the suspension control module with feedback regarding all of the force?
A.
Is it?
Cornering.
Lateral acceleration means cornering.
1453.
Which sensor provides input regarding cornering forces? Lateral accelerator. Like
I got that one
accelerometer.
right.
Yeah, if you got one right, you got two right, right?
No, not me.
What do you get about number 2?
B.
Is my turn?
Yes.
Number 2 is B.
What type signal is produced by a
Potentiometer.
Don't know.
Is it C?
We're doing 3.
Yeah.
A.
Who said A? How do you know that?
Educated guess.
You took a guess.
Yeah.
It's not the long answer.
It's not.
If you're gonna
I was
guess,
looking on
that's
there, I
normally what
couldn't
you
figure
do,
it
right?
out.
There's so C.
No, it's analog, you're right.
Oh.
I don't even see where it says it. I was looking for it.
I didn't find it either,
It's
but
on the first page.
is it?
Potentiometer, whatever?
Phototransistor, right? Oh, that's a whole different thing.
Phototransistor, a whole different thing, yeah.
Where is the potent?
Where is the potentiometer? Well, let's see here.
Oh.
Serial
Oh, now I know my
position
answer for
sensor,
the other
pressure
question. I figured it
sensor,
out.
phototransistor.
Here's
It's a 3-wire variable resistor,
Oh yeah, here it is. 1452.
1452.
Yeah, the potentiometer 3-wire sensor requires reference and ground voltage similar to the throttle position sensor. It produces a variable analog voltage.
There
signal.
you go.
Where do you see that?
1452. Literally the first thing you have highlighted on that page. Yeah.
Oh, shit. Yeah.
I had some of it highlighted too. I just didn't fucking check it.
Okay, you know why? Because I'm looking for the highlighted.
Yeah, like the bolded letters and
Yeah.
everything.
Question 4.
Yeah.
Technician A says that comparing height sensor from side to side allows ECM to calculate acceleration force. Technician B says that only half effect sensor are used in height sensor. Which technician is correct?
Is it technician A?
Okay, let's see what we got. Technician A says that comparing height sensors from side to side allows ECM to calculate acceleration force.
Don't know.
Height sensor has nothing to do with acceleration force.
Well, I did.
Only
guess
Hall
that.
effect sensors are used. No. Both wrong. Okay? Okay. What do we have, 5?
Yes.
Number 5, technician A says that comparing front vehicle height sensors to the rear sensors allow the ECM to determine body roll created by corner force. Technician B says that the vehicle height sensors are only located in the rear. What technician is correct? Which, put B?
B? All right. It's not B. Anybody else get a different answer?
A only?
No.
C.
What?
C.
C?
Yeah, both.
Neither.
Neither.
Because for the
Both wrong.
why would the front and rear sensors determine body roll? Body rolls from side to side, right?
Okay, we're talking again about height sensors. All that's for is for automatic level control. Has nothing to do with handling.
Okay.
Says cornering force. No. It uses the lateral acceleration sensor for lateral g-force calculation input. Vehicle height sensor is only located on the rear? No. 2 on the front, 1 on the back, depending on the car, so definitely not just in the front. Both wrong again, all right?
These sensors are messing with
I
me.
knew B wasn't right. But A, you said is the height sensors are only for automatic height control.
For automatic level control, they're ALC.
Two technicians are discussing electronic leveling systems. Technician A says the weight should be placed in the vehicle as part of the diagnostic procedure. Technician B says that many ride height sensors are adjustable. Which technician is correct? I want to say just A, but I think B. I mean, C. Both of them.
You are correct. Both of them. All right.
All right, a bi-state damper, and I really guessed on this. A bi-state damper uses an electrical actuator instead of a solenoid. Is that true?
That's false.
That is true.
Yep.
Actuator and a solenoid, the same thing?
No,
Nope.
very different.
An actuator has the potential or the power to do different adjustments or settings or whatever. Solenoid's just got basically on or off.
Alright, a steer. Oh, what the fuck are they doing?
Are they doing?
God damn. A steering wheel position sensor is being discussed. Technician A says that the sensor is used to determine the direction of the steering wheel. Technician B says that the sensor detects how fast the steering wheel is turned. Which technician is correct? Both technicians?
Direction and speed, yeah, both of them.
How many wires are used with a potentiometer type sensor?
A.
Potentiometer, 3 wires. It's a 3-wire variable resistor. You see a lot of those on cars. Many different things.
And how do you pronounce that real quick?
Potentiometer.
Potentiometer, okay.
Yep.
Potentiometer.
8 was 8C, right?
I'm sorry.
Yeah, 8
is
was C.
Yes.
Technician A says that an electronic control model used in suspension system is the same as that used in engine control. Technician B says that most electronic control suspension systems use a separate electric control model. Which technician is correct? Is it B?
B?
B? B, yes. Electronic control module is the same in the suspension as for the engine. Nope, they're separate. Okay? All right.
We're done for the day, right?
I'm
Like,
sorry.
we're done for the day?
What do you mean?
Is there another chapter or no?
Probably not, because we've got next week.
Okay.
So,
Oh,
yeah, probably not.
Some more questions?
yeah.
More questions, plus we got a couple of these things to do, but we probably will not get into another chapter, though.
Typically, a vehicle height sensor mounts to the body of the vehicle and is connected to the blank by a lever. Oh, these are from the last chapter or this chapter?
It's this one we just did.
Oh, because I don't see no sensor electronic stuff.
To the body of
Height
it's
sensor.
connected to the thing.
Oh, height sensor, I see.
Typically, a vehicle height sensor mounts to the body of the vehicle and is connected to the frame by a lever.
Frame?
Is it?
Oh, no, not the frame, not the frame. That would be the
Upper control.
control arm. Correct? Lower,
Mm.
okay, lower control arm. I knew it was a control arm.
Height sensor and lower control arm.
All right.
An electrical current is applied to the fluid, D or B.
Electrical current applied to the fluid. Got iron particles in it.
What are commonly used as actuators in electronic suspension systems. Actuator motor. Would it be A and B?
A and B, yeah, right?
Which of the following is not considered an input for the suspension ECM?
Photo cell?
Yeah.
Switch, wouldn't that be output? The switch?
Mhm.
You're sending the current to, no.
And it's input, an input.
Not considered an input.
Not
Sensor
an input.
is an input.
Sensor senses, switch switches. Motor is controlled by the sensor or the
It's
switch.
electric.
So it would have to be a photocell,
I
wouldn't
don't
it?
remember that word ever.
But the photocell, isn't that the thing on the dash or the,
Uh-huh, sometimes called a photodiode.
yeah, for the temperature thingy or something? Yeah.
Sun
so-
load sensor.
Yeah, that's what that is. So that, it would be D then, right?
Which one of those does not sense something?
For the suspension, and it's a photocell. Right?
The
A
switch?
photocell could sense something,
For
couldn't
the
it?
suspension.
The
Well,
electric motor?
It's not asking you that.
It
Sensor
does. It says
sensors.
an
So the switch
input
sense
for the
Photo cell switch.
suspension.
I said switch from the start. I think it's switch, isn't it?
Switch.
No? So it's the electric motor.
This is really the only word you have to see. If that was the only word up there, you would be able to answer the question.
Considered an
Switch.
input. The sensor is an
confused,
input,
like-
the switch isn't.
Because you have photocell in there, and then there's a word suspension, and photocell doesn't go with the suspension. That's where I'm stuck.
The word not gets me.
This is gonna be so simple for us. Or
I'm pretty sure it's sensor and we're getting this all wrong.
Charles, Terrence, Amaja. Almost forgot you.
Wait. The sensor is technically an output, isn't it? Because it senses something and that pushes off to something else.
If you look at 1451, it shows you the picture of a level sensor. It shows a photo transistor LED thing, kind of photocell type of thing. It's just
Where
a
is that
different
at?
word, kind of, sort of.
1451, right there, that picture right there.
This one?
No, that one. Yeah.
Bottom, photo transistor.
Sensor level.
Transistor, what the hell does that have to do with
Photocell,
the
photo
suspension?
transistor, photodiode, they could all be used for.
Input.
So it is a photocell?
But what does that have to do with the suspension?
Somehow, nobody is grasping the concept here.
No.
I'm not getting the entire
No,
chapter.
we're not.
This is something that's being controlled. It's not an input. How can an electric motor be an input?
Oh, okay.
It's impossible. An electric motor is something that it controls based on the inputs. Electric motor is an output.
When the suspension action moves, it rotates the slotted disc, varies how
Okay.
much of the photo transistor is exposed to the LEDs, which vary the input signal.
I still don't understand how that has to do with anything with the suspension.
It pretty much is telling the system, what's it called, like, what is it? The sensor provides the control module with the information regarding relative position and movement.
If you
of
stopped
suspension.
this question right here and took this out of the equation, you could still answer the question. Which of the following is not considered an input? There's only one of those. Whether it's suspension system, doesn't matter what it is. There's only one of those that's not an input. An electric motor is not, never has been, never will be an input.
So the electric motor?
Yeah.
Oh, same thing as the photo cell, but okay, then yeah, good.
Alright, Ron.
Okay,
my
let's-
brain is not
let's-
accepting that.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
Where are we, 5?
Where's our block diagram here?
My head hurts.
My brain is not braining.
Not
There
registering,
are
huh?
5 different sensors found on electric suspension systems. And GM vehicles can have between 1 and 4 of these sensors, depending on the system. Depending on the vehicle, the suspension position sensor may be called by a different name. It can be called an automatic level control sensor, an electronic suspension position sensor, a position sensor, an air suspension sensor. This still doesn't tell me how.
I'm trying to
I don't like
find,
that question. I don't like that question.
it's the easiest question up there.
I don't
Nothing could be easier.
like it. Cause I
I think
understand,
6
I
is an
completely
easier
understand what
question.
you're saying, that the electric motor is not an input. I get that just fine, that's 1,000% understood. But the way it's worded is what's bothering me, because
For the
it.
suspension.
Yes.
Because everything else up there has, like, to do with the, suspension. I feel like what's really getting me is that photocell is called photocell instead of phototransistor. That's what's bugging me. Because I didn't see nowhere where it said anything about a photocell in here.
And it doesn't.
It's just
Okay.
a different name for it.
If you had a little bit of an idea of what this was, you would know that this is something that detects light and is an input to a controller. So is a switch. Is it on or out? So is a sensor. What's the sensor voltage reading? This is something that's being controlled.
Yeah, I got
Right.
that.
Motor can't give you an input signal. It's a device that gets controlled, just like a solenoid. If this said solenoid, that would be the right answer.
Yeah.
If it said relay, that would be the right answer.
Yeah.
You know. Okay,
5.
number 5.
Oh wait, no, never mind. Technician is an electronic control module used in the suspension system is the same as
They don't do
that used is the same as that used for an engine control technician.
Oh, we did this
research.
one already, didn't we?
We did it.
Whoa.
Don't remember that one?
Yeah, it was, B.
Yeah, this guy says the electronic control module used in the suspension system is the same one that's used for engine control. It's not.
Okay.
Okay.
And then 6.
Most of them have a separate electronic control module, yes.
6 is B.
Okay.
B, 6B.
He did that one already too.
Ordering forces.
D.
Huh?
Hmm?
Oh.
Hmm.
What term describes an electrical device controlled by an electronic module that performs some kind of mechanical action?
Actuator?
Yeah.
Activator.
Actuator.
Driver.
It's A. Which one is it?
Mm-hmm.
Well.
What type of sensor is used as a height sensor on a vehicle equipped with an electronically controlled suspension?
That's the
Total
whole
cell.
thing.
Is it all of them?
Mm.
Sensor.
Which one do you think it is?
Has a height sensor.
Which one?
See,
See?
Controlled suspension. What does a
I know for
potentiometer
a
do?
fact.
What
Oh,
does-
that's something different. Never mind.
What does a potentiometer
That was the
do?
first question.
Potentiometer, variable resistor, you see them in height sensors, like that. rewire variable resistor. Okay, since the answer is this, and this is one of them, and this says electronically controlled suspension, now are you still mad about the fact that it says photocell in that other question?
Yeah.
What is a Hall effect?
There's a lot of stuff that I just.
Yeah, see, now that
missed.
photo cell is coming in, yeah, that's,
It's not even that. Like I don't even remember seeing Hall effect.
I do, it's in there.
The answer is D.
Yeah, the answer is
The answer is all of them.
Okay. I'm gonna be fucked up on this test.
I didn't get.
No, you won't. Okay, potentiometer produces an analog signal.
I'm gonna go home and watch YouTube videos.
Yeah.
on
What's the difference between an analog and a digital signal?
We got a
Analog,
clock.
digital, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I just think of the clock.
Think of video games like Pac-Man.
That clock is an analog clock, right?
Analog stick.
Digital clock would just have numbers that display
Yeah, that's
that.
how I.
Okay. Whoa, dude.
You good?
But 10 is D.
Is it?
It's,
Excessively.
10 is what?
D. I know it's D
He
before.
said.
It is.
It must be.
He said. Wait. Low tire pressure.
Right. High pressure, runs excessively.
Right height.
Yeah.
Compressor runs excessively. We talked about that. And I
Yeah,
told
like
you would
the
see
answers
that on a
before.
test question.
The answer.
Maybe not just this test question, but maybe the one next week.
It's A.
May show up on there too.
The last questions in the book.
Okay, questions in the books. 1464. What is the purpose of an electronically controlled suspension system? Just a basic question.
What was the purpose of
All of them?
All of those, sure. Type of sensor, any of those, we did that question. What sensors do most vehicles use?
it? All of them.
All of those. Lateral acceleration is cornering, which we've done. Steering wheel position sensor we did. It determines the speed that you turn the steering wheel and the direction.
It's both.
Both.
So it's both. Commonly controlled electronic suspension systems, automatic level control, air suspension maker,
Is that C?
any of those. Any of those. The firm setting is usually selected by the system whenever the control module,
Firm.
D. Any of
Wait.
those. I mean, yeah, any of them.
okay, I'm having trouble reading this for some reason.
The firm
The
setting.
firm setting is usually selected by the electronic suspension control module whenever the following occurs. Any of those is right, yeah, okay.
There's a lot of any questions I looked at.
All right, commonly used
Either A or B.
as actuators. Solenoids or an actuator motor, yep. We did 9, air leak in the system, same as 10 on the other one. And we did that one as well. It changes viscosity when an electrical current is applied to the fluid.
What do you get for 8?
I'm sorry,
8.
8?
8 is
Let's
D.
look. 8 is dog.
And 9.
9 is
Both of them
D.
is?
Yes, we are.
And 10 is Diva. I thought we were done.
Oh, we are not done. Your electronic suspension system is not done. What are you getting out of here at 1:30?
Can we get some air?
You get some what?
Air in here.
Yeah, somebody slammed the door.
It's the same person that stole all those donuts
Yep.
yesterday.
Did you take those?
I wasn't here.
I know. I figured you just smelled them and came over here and got them.
What's up, brother?
We really pumped up the heat in here, didn't we?
Yeah.
78 degrees in here. You walk out in the hallway, it's like 5-6 degrees cooler.
It was all of our anger.
Yeah, it's all that anger over that question.
Steam coming out of our heads.
What the heck's a photo cell?
Yep.
Oh my God. I couldn't believe it was such a easy question.
It
I was
that
confused.
suspension word that threw me off.
Yeah,
Photocell suspension.
It did get hot.
it did. 78 here. Thermostat set on 71. Y'all overheated on that question. I know that's what it was.
Yep. Shit stuck.
Ooh, you broke it.
Oh, what? I broke it? How can I break it? How can I do that? Did you have a question? No?
Oh, no, I was doing right. I was just scratching my head.
From now on, I'll just assume you're doing that. All right.
I have a question.
All right.
Do you have any dealer close to like Decatur and Charleston by the west side?
No, we don't.
Sorry.
Closest thing to you would be, stuff on Roy Horn.
Roy Horn?
Yeah, like Chevy,
What?
Subaru.
Yeah,
He said.
Where are you at?
That's the Decatur.
I'm
You're at
I'm
Nissan.
in Henderson.
yeah, you're Henderson. So, yeah. Where were you before that?
Subaru.
Okay, so you know what the Subaru dealer is?
Yeah.
There's all those dealers along there except for the
What's
Ford
the-
dealer and Hyundai dealer or
what's next to-
or our dealers.
What's next to Subaru? Chevy.
Chevy, Subaru, Land Rover, Volvo. So all those are our dealers.
Okay.
But in that particular area, no. Auto Mall, 215 Rainbow, you know, Roy Horn, those, and those were most of them are, those two locations. We have a Kia dealer on Sahara,
Sahara and what?
Sahara and West Sahara, I think Sahara and Decatur maybe?
Yes, hair indicator.
Yeah. So the Kia dealer there we use, so.
Is Kia good? Is it decent?
Well, I tell you what, the guy that is the manager there now, he used to run the Chevy store.
Yeah.
Then he went out to, Bullhead City, ran a Chevy store out there, and now he's back here. He's a good guy, Tony Smith.
Alright.
But I have not been to that dealer yet. I just picked that dealer up the last month or so.
I have a question. Do you need any more expo markers? Because a lot of them are dying. Or markers. are
Any
dying.
more what?
Markers for the board?
Oh, markers.
Yeah, it seems like they're all dying.
I have a shit ton of them at home.
Yeah, actually, I have some that I haven't used yet, so
Okay, cool.
I'm good, yeah.
Gotcha.
I should probably just retire these that aren't writing very good. I kinda forgot I had those. But, so I figured out what you can do for extra credit. You can go get a Majay's Camaro running.
Okay.
He's like, yes.
I'll figure it out.
Yeah, hey, let me know.
I'll figure it out. Get your money back and tow it home.
All right. Let's do these questions and we'll get out of here, all right?
Ready?
Yep.
Alright.
Providing everybody answers every question right. No missed questions and we'll get out of here.
Alright, so don't hold your breath.
Come on, we just went through
We're getting
this.
the first one wrong.
Yeah, get the first
Look,
one wrong.
guys, listen now. I'm not going first anymore. We're starting
What?
in the back now. Amaj's first.
Go ahead, start us off. See how you do.
All right,
Until Monday.
Like, we're gonna be here till 3. What's the purpose of the height sensors and electronic suspension system? B.
Exactly.
Oh, that's what I
Monitor
got.
ride
I
height.
should've went
D.
first.
It's a height sensor.
Height and height.
Monitors ride height.
Height goes with height.
Yay.
B.
Okay, so far we're doing good. You're not
B.
gonna be the one that keeps us over.
B as in baseball.
Number 2.
Yes, yes.
Height, height.
Number 2.
Yeah, relate the two words, height, height. Okay. Let's see how Terrence does.
Which sensor provides information on suspension components?
Suspension.
A? Yes, sir. Suspension position. Okay. So far we're doing good.
It's gonna be.
Don't mess this up, Charles.
Yeah, I'm not sure we're going through.
No pressure.
What is the purpose of
Accelerometer. Is that how you say that?
Lateral accelerometer, that is correct.
Yeah,
Yeah.
in electrical suspension system. Is it
Is it what?
B?
B is in boy.
He said
Did he say A? Yeah, good thing. We'll pretend like you said A.
So it's A.
Remember, lateral acceleration is through a curve or
Cornering.
cornering, okay? A. Imagine saved you.
Okay.
I believe in you.
Okay, 4.
Which sensor produces a voltage signal of 0 to 5 volts to measure a vehicle's movement left or right through a curve? I'm gonna say it's lateral accelerometer.
Okay, through a curve, lateral acceleration, exactly. So far, we're doing good.
So curve means like cornering.
Curve, cornering, yeah, same thing, yeah. Lateral acceleration. Lateral accelerometer, acceleration sensor, whatever they want to call it.
What is the purpose of the yaw rate sensor?
Now, I know you know this because you're the one that asked me.
What is the purpose of the yaw rate sensor in electronic suspension systems? B.
B, measure how far the vehicle deviates from the driver's intended direction.
What is the driver selector switch used for in electronic suspension systems? A.
Okay,
She missed you.
if it's a selector
did.
switch,
I did mean C.
it's used to select,
I was
right?
just testing you. to
You're
make
right.
sure You're on.
So is it A?
A is right.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. If it's a selector switch, it means you can select it. Sometimes, again, just matching words works sometimes.
Yeah, that's what I did the whole way through because I didn't know any of this.
Okay,
It's
Which
A,
sensor-
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which sensor is used on vehicles equipped with electronic stability control?
ESC.
oh, let's see how he does with this one.
What was it?
Electronic stability control, it's gonna have,
What is it, Mosey?
Look, if I'm using my context clues the correct way, stability control, curve, cornering, stability, I'm gonna see.
you gonna go D? Okay, good job.
So it's D.
Actually, this is a funny question because electronic suspension system, for the most part, can use all of these. So
So I'll leave a kid.
for the electronic stability control, actually, yeah. Any of them probably work, but yaw rate's what we're looking for, okay? All right,
What is
eight.
the principle behind the operation of actuator, motors, and electronically controlled suspension systems? I put A.
Electromagnetic induction is exactly how it works. Okay,
What is the purpose of selectable ride electronic suspension system?
Is it candy?
Is it what?
Candy?
C.
Selectable means you can do it, right?
You choose, yeah.
Correct.
D, good job, let's get it.
Means you can select it, yes.
You can do it.
You can do it, is right. All right.
Let's see here.
10.
Oh, who's it? Charles.
Charles, is you?
Is it?
No, he just went.
Oh,
past
so it's
it.
you.
Oh.
Oh shit, the one I didn't answer.
No,
What?
it's Joe.
No, I'm saying
Oh,
I
yeah,
didn't
yeah.
answer. I couldn't figure it out.
Wait, what? 10, right?
Yes.
What type of electronic suspension system is used in many Ford Mercury and is that right? And Lincoln vehicles? I said A. Automatic level control.
There's not A. I'm looking for it in the book, actually.
I know, I remember it, but I
Yeah.
C. D wouldn't, or B wouldn't even be one because that says electronic suspension. That's air suspension. I think it's C.
Okay, 1457, you'll find the answer. In an air spring suspension with ordinary shock absorbers, ECM use air springs to control trim height used on Ford, Mercury, Lincoln vehicles.
So it's air suspension?
Let's see.
What was it?
Variable rate air springs.
Oh.
Yeah, D.
Or D.
That's a D one question.
Okay, yeah. Okay,
Who had 11?
What is
11,
the
yeah.
purpose of the road sensing suspension electronic suspension system? Can I call a lifeline?
you phone a friend?
Yeah.
Charles, can you help me?
What is it, child?
Is it D?
Yay!
Thank you, Charles.
Good answer.
Your lifeline worked.
It's because Charles got men
10 points to Gryffindor.
What type of shock absorber is used to control squat during acceleration and brake dive, as well as to reduce body roll during cornering?
Shocks and shocks.
I said the B.
Banana?
MR, yeah.
Yes.
Baby.
Whew.
Okay. Saving it.
What's 12B?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. Magnetorheological shocks.
Wait, 12 was B, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, alright.
The only answer with shocks in it.
What is the purpose of the automatic level control electronic suspension system?
Lifeline.
He knows this one.
A.
Yes, it is. Adjust the rear height of the vehicle in response to changes for unloading and loading.
The long answer.
ALC, automatic level control. It only makes sense that that would be the correct answer.
Number 14. What type of electronic suspension system is in magneto-galactic
Meteorological. Just say what type is the F-55. That's all you need to say.
Okay.
A, okay. A,
What did
good.
he say?
Oh, we needed that, Terrence.
All right. Two more.
Number 15, what is the purpose of a vehicle's stability enhancement system, electrical or suspension system? Is it
What is it? What?
He said B, right?
D.
He said the right
yeah.
answer, right?
Oh, he said D.
Additional level of control to the electronic brake control module.
Electronic brake control module.
D.
All right, one more.
Electronic.
Gotta get it right. Gotta get it
Come
right.
on, Joe.
I believe
I'm calling my lifeline.
the purpose of real time.
What is the purpose of the real-time dampening electronic suspension system?
Word association.
I'm gonna go with C.
You to go with C.
Yeah, dampening and dampening.
Okay, you would normally be okay, except here's the problem. Real-time dampening means it's doing it for you. This says allows the driver to choose.
Okay.
Does not. You can have one more guess.
Tiffany.
D.
Okay,
Snoop Doggy Dogg.
Is it D?
doggy dog, yep. All right, doggy dog is the right answer, all right. How'd we do?
100%.
Got that.
How many?
100%.
100%. Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4,
I know better than that,
5, 6, 7.
because you answered a couple of them wrong.
I got two wrong. I got
Got 11. That's
The only two you had to read?
I only got one that I read wrong.
I read.
Oh,
I
that's
got
right.
14 out of 16.
Awesome.
I got 5 wrong.
I got
Five
scared.
wrong.
I was scared.
How many did Terrence get wrong?
2,
What?
Is he lying?
You only missed two?
3, my bad, 3.
Okay. Well,